How's everyone doing today? It's Indiana here with Emptoraudio, where we review, listen to, and take apart a lot of different types of audio gear. So today I've got the Fosi Audio Tube-P1 with me today. This is a super affordable, I should say maybe super cheap, little tube preamp by Fosi Audio. This thing was actually about $42 on Amazon. It was on sale and also had a little coupon, which made it super affordable. Now, I wasn't really expecting much. I mean, it's $42. How good can this thing really sound? And honestly, when I listened to this thing, it sounded absolutely, I wouldn't say incredible, but I would say really, really good for what I was expecting for this little unit. Now, we do have a little bit of tone controls on here, bass and treble. They do offer a bit of adjustment, which is nice. I like being able to adjust a little bit of bass here and there, which is phenomenal for this little unit. The one thing I do like about all of these knobs here is these are super smooth. They don't feel cheap really in any way, and your volume control actually has a little bit of tactile feedback. There's a little bit of clicking there in it, which is phenomenal. So let's power this thing on, and I really want to see you check out these tube amps, or these tubes. They are really cool to see. Just a tiny bit of glow on these tubes, which is pretty cool. They don't really light up that much in the dark. As you can see here, if I turn my background lighting off, you can see just a hint of that little bit of a red glow there in the tubes. There's really not a ton of light coming off these tubes, which is all right. It's not something I really look for in tube amps, is, you know, a ton of glow coming off the tubes. But of course, the tubes are, of course, genuine. You could take the tubes out, you do lose the left channel. Take the left tube out, this left channel is gone. Take the right tube out, right channel is gone. Of course, so and what the real question is what does this thing look like on the inside? So to take this thing apart, you have to take 4 screws in the front out. There are 6 screws in the back, and then you also got to take the 2 tubes out of the top to get the whole thing apart. Let's do that now. In case you're wondering, these tubes are going to be a 6K4 77.4 tube here. Alright, so now that we have the tubes out, I've got the front 4 screws out, and then I've got the 6 screws on the back. There are 4 in the corners, 2 up here. Let's pull this thing out and see what is on the inside here. Alright, we got some capacitors here. Overall construction is actually not awful. What do you expect from something that's only going to be $40? I can't really see a lot of really cheap components in here. We do have a Nexum Japan chip right there, which is pretty cool to see. Yeah, looks like we even got a build date 2022-08-2022 there, or 22 there. So it looks pretty solid overall on the inside. If you're wondering what this thing looks like from the inside, actually quite well organized and well put together. Here is the bottom side with all of the solders. Not terrible for the price of this thing. Now, this thing isn't very heavy, of course. It's not going to be a super heavy-duty type piece of audio gear, but it is quite well put together. We do see you have the power supply side up here, which does have a nice bit of shielding around that as well. Overall, quite impressed with this unit. And the big question is, how long will this unit continue to perform for, being such an affordable unit? A lot of times, a lot of these Chinese units that you get from Amazon or Wish or Alibaba, they do have issues over time. So that'd be the big question, is how long will this little preamp last? I'd probably say the tubes will give out first. Now, the only downsides of this unit are going to be that it does have a slight hum. I probably would blame that on the cheaper power supply that you get with this unit. If you want to take a look at that, I've got it right here. It doesn't feel super light. It's going to just be a 12-volt power supply here, 1,000 milliamp, and it is going to be made by, it's actually made by an appliance tech company. Of course, made in China. It's not the cheapest power supply I've seen from other units, but it's of course not the most, powerful or top end I've seen to date. So overall, I think the Fosi Audio Tube-P1 is a fantastic value for a tube preamp. It is overall, I think, a pretty solid piece of equipment. I would assume longevity would be its biggest downside, as well as a little bit of hum in the speakers as well. It's not the cleanest unit I've heard, but it is a nice little tube amp. If you want to get your feet wet, in a little tube preamp. This is definitely the way to go. Probably not very useful when it comes to anything like 2-channel or larger stereo systems, but if you just want to do like a small 2-channel setup on your desktop, this is a fantastic way to go. Overall, I think this is a great value with not very many downsides to it and such an awesome price. So guys, thanks for watching. Have a great day and take care.